Hillary Clinton, she said something about this upcoming rally at Madison Square Garden because, look, Donald Trump's not done campaigning. He's going every single day. Kamala Harris, she likes to take days off. Donald Trump does not. He's going every single day. He's out today. He's out tomorrow. On October 27th, which is Sunday, he will be doing a live rally in New York City, the belly of the beast, the big blue apple, I like to call it. And he's going to go right into MSG. He's going to pack the joint. It's going to look like a Billy Joel concert in there. And Donald Trump's going to have all these MAGA faithful, and they're going to be chanting USA, USA, and 4 more years, and probably they'll throw in some locker-ups in there just for old time's sake. And Hillary Clinton wants you to know this is not a political rally for the leading political candidate. This is not a Donald Trump rally just a week and 2 days before the biggest election of our time. This is not just a bunch of patriotic Americans, liberty-loving, freedom-defending patriots, just like you and me, getting together in a major venue, in a huge city, in a very important state to say, this is the guy we want for president. No, this is a reenactment of a Nazi rally.
One other thing that you'll see next week, Caitlin, is Trump actually reenacting the Madison Square Garden rally in 1939. I write about this in my book. President Franklin Roosevelt was appalled that neo-Nazis, fascists in America were lining up to essentially pledge their support for the kind of government that they were seeing in Germany. So I don't think we can ignore it.
I don't think
another thing that you'll see next week, Caitlin.
We don't need to hear we don't need to hear her voice again. I don't think you can ignore it. Couple things about that clip. First of all, while Hillary Clinton was comparing Donald Trump's rally at MSG to the 1939 Nazi rally at MSG, she also got a plug in there for her book. Did you notice that? She's like, I write about this in my book, if you'd like to check it out. It's available on Amazon.com. But this is the rally she's talking about. This is in 1939. This was at the height of the Nazi rise of the Third Reich in Germany during World War II. And this is, I guess, neo-Nazis that came in and they rallied. And look, I'm not saying anything about this. I wasn't there. I don't know anything about it, but there's a lot of empty seats. And I'm pretty sure that look at that. The Donald Trump, there's going to be no empty seats at Donald Trump's rally. There'll be none. Not a single one of these seats will be empty at the Donald Trump rally. So that's one reason it's not at all like this. Also, I was looking at this and I zoomed in, and I'm going to be honest with you. I think I can see, look, I think that's Hillary Clinton right there. I think you can actually, if you zoom in, you could actually see her there. So, but anyway, I digress. Hillary Clinton wants you to know that Donald Trump is not having a political rally for Republicans at Madison Square Garden. He's reenacting that. In fact, I think that's I'm pretty sure that was the actual word she used. Let me play it one more time.
Another thing that you'll see next week, Caitlin, is Trump actually reenacting the Madison Square Garden rally in 1939. I write about this in my book.
Yeah, she writes about it in her book. So that he's reenacting it. You know, like they reenact Civil War battles. Or Revolutionary War battles. If you go to Cowpens or Kings Mountain, you can watch the Union and the Confederacy go at it every weekend at 3 p.m. And there's also like a 5 o'clock late show. That's what she's trying to tell everybody. This isn't just a rally. This is a reenactment of one of the darkest days in American history. Now, the interesting thing about all of this, and Kamala Harris did it too, she called Donald Trump a fascist. Anderson Cooper later, I said, hey, do you want to call Donald Trump a fascist, by the way? And she was all like, yeah, I got time. So she called Donald Trump a fascist on CNN. Then it was all downhill from there. You thought that was the low point of the CNN interview. It was not. It got a lot worse. And now Hillary Clinton's out there saying he's a Nazi, he's Hitler, and he's reenacting one of the worst moments in American history with the Hitler-Nazi rally at MSG. That's what's happening this Saturday. Get your tickets at donaldjtrump.com. Kidding. They're all sold out. But this is having, by the way, a negative effect on Democrat and independent voters. Independent voters don't like it when you compare political candidates to Adolf Hitler. And we know that because I believe it was Mark Halperin had kind of like a round table discussion on Zoom, and he was talking to a bunch of undecided voters, I believe, from Pennsylvania. And listen to what one of them said.
I can't. I think part of the reason why I'm being pushed towards Trump so strongly is that I find that the Democrats and the left just keep going straight to Hitler all of the time with everything. Like it, and if it's not the left pushing Hitler, it's the right pushing Stalin. So it's like we're fighting World War II every single day for every single election. So it's so exhausting. I think it just detracts from, it pushes me away from their position, and it's so hyperbolic that it makes it impossible to have good discussions. And I think it ruins the discourse.
Does anybody think it's valuable or something you want to hear from the vice president? Anybody? Raise your hand if you think this is something that's important for her to be talking about. Anybody?
No, not a person. No, not one person. One more real quick thing. I don't know if you know about this, but I have for a while now been investigating the benefits of testosterone. And people always laugh and they go, of course, Mark, you're getting old. It's my birthday tomorrow. I'm turning 50. Everyone's like, yeah, of course you're worried about your testosterone. I'm not worried about it, but I saw this great video the other day from the folks at V-Shred, and they explained there's one food which shocked me, because you always hear about this food, and this is the one food they always tell you, you should eat this food, and then you eat it, and it turns out it's destroying your testosterone levels. Most guys think it's being drained by aging or bad genetics, but that's not true. It's the food you're eating that's killing your testosterone, draining your energy, wrecking your focus and your sex drive. And the crazy part is they advertise it as healthy. And in this video I was watching, which you can watch as well, you can see the one food and how changing your diet can change your testosterone levels, which changes everything. Your weight loss, the way you build muscle. It helps you sleep better. It helps you have more energy when you're awake. It helps your sex drive. It helps your focus. Testosterone as a male is everything that you need. And you need to know not just how to get more testosterone, but how to avoid foods that destroy the level of testosterone in your body. Sculptnation.com/MK is the website address. It's up there on the screen. Sculptnation.com/MK is the address if you want to go and take a look at this video. It's really informative. It's from the folks at V-Shred. They know what's up. Sculptnation.com/MK. And fun fact, I put a link to that video on the YouTube and the Rumble description. So if you're watching on YouTube or Rumble, you can click on that link and you can go watch that video for yourself at your leisure. Sculptnation.com/MK. Not one person thinks it's constructive or helpful or appropriate for Hillary Clinton and Kamala Harris and the rest of them to be comparing Donald Trump to Hitler. You know who else doesn't like it? Holocaust survivors, of which there are still many. The relatives of Holocaust survivors, Jewish people, Jewish voters in the United States of America are not thrilled about Kamala Harris and the Democrats saying Donald Trump is Hitler. And this video was released. Listen to this. Is a guy who is a Holocaust survivor. This was on Twitter.
My name is Jerry Wartsky. I'm 94 years old and survivor of Auschwitz and the death marches. Adolf Hitler invaded Poland when I was 9 years old. He murdered my parents and most of our family. I know more about Hitler than Kamala will ever know in 1,000 lifetimes. For her to accuse President Trump of being like Hitler is the worst thing I've ever heard in my 75 years living in the United States. I know President Trump, and he would never say this, and Kamala Harris knows this. She owes my parents and everybody else who was murdered by Hitler an apology for repeating this lie.
Why should the Jewish people support President Trump?
Oh, by the way, listen to the question was, if you're having trouble hearing it, why should the Jewish people support President Trump? Which, by the way, is something I ask I always ask that question too. I'm like, why don't more Jewish people support President Trump? Listen.
Because he's a mensch. I believe that President Trump is definitely going to be good for Israel, because in everything that he's done up to now was in favor. He never double-crossed anyone. and he never showed any weakness. Watching President Trump pray for the hostages at the Ohel and getting to spend time with him so meaningful. He has always stood with the Jewish people and the state of Israel.
I mean, the comparison, and again, maybe it's just that people don't know, maybe they don't pay attention to the news, and they probably don't, but comparing Donald Trump to Hitler, who slaughtered Jewish people. I mean, Donald Trump, Israel has not seen a president that has been so linked and helpful and friendly to their cause in decades. I mean, Donald Trump was the only president after a year. I mean, so many presidents talked about moving. Oh, you know what we're going to do? We're going to move the embassy to Jerusalem. And every single president had a chief of staff or an advisor or somebody pop up and in their ear and go, no, you can't do that. And they go, why not? And they go, because if you move the embassy to Jerusalem, it's going to annoy all the Arabs in the Arab states. So we've got to keep the embassy out of Jerusalem. And Donald Trump came in and he said, you know what? Forget that. Jerusalem's the capital of Israel. That's where we're going to put our embassy. And the Jewish people were ecstatic. They were thrilled. They named a park after they put a little park in front of the embassy. Kid you not. They put a statue of Donald Trump there and they called it like Trump Park. I don't even know. I think it's called Trump Park. It's something you know the thing. And that is something that no other president has done. So for these two-bit, washed up, ridiculous, corrupt politicians to roll in and try to compare Donald Trump to Hitler is, as this guy pointed out, insulting. It is the wrong thing. It's disgusting, and it's pushing voters away.